I recently spent a month and a half hiking through southern Utah.
Well, it's me, going on a hike.
And when the adventure ended, I was, once again, thrust into reentry. It happens after. After months on trail, after a week camping or traveling, after a seasonal job, an awesome summer.
Left without a trace, but I wanted you to stay.
We get a glimpse into a different version of ourselves. We break away from the capitalist hellscape for a brief window, and then, in the end, it's time to pay up. Maybe it's just the tax for living fully. My mom calls it post-party depression. Katie Lee says that reentry demands a physical return to rank and utter bullshit. When the adventure ends, be it a weekend or a few years long, returning to your life can feel brutal. The symptoms include general moodiness, anxiety, depression, irritability, sadness, anger, a feeling of being sucked into an existential void, the vacuum of the universe opening up to you and swallowing you whole, a loss of direction and purpose, loneliness, and general malaise. In other words, grief. When the adventure ends, we all must contend with our own grief. Part of the re-entry process for me is feeling the joy and gratitude of having gone on the adventure in the first place, even if it's over. Re-entry demands a physical return to rank and utter bullshit, but with the spirit strengthened, wisened by the experience, more equipped for living, maybe. My last adventure ended pretty bitterly. My journey finished on November 22nd, but if I'm honest with myself, if I'd been more concerned with my well-being versus caring what other people thought of me, I'd have been better off leaving 2 weeks earlier. The grief of the adventure ending and my simultaneous re-entry has felt a bit more complicated than the conclusion of other adventures. But the elements of grief are the same. The way it all ended sucked. The loss of trust in myself and others sucked. But I can't deny that spending that much time outside strengthened my spirit. I was wisened by the experience in more ways than I wish I'd been, and I do feel more equipped for living. And that's the point, right? We go out there to feel a more alive version of ourselves. I did feel more alive. Arguably, I still do. Would I erase the entire experience to avoid the last 2 weeks? No. I'm grateful to have had the adventure, and I'm grateful that it ended.